Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, back to bring some grumpiness to your internet. Boy, do I have some grumpiness today. But before we get into that, with me is Alex, better known as Irate Bear.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well on this Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, how long have I been doing this, Bear?
YouTube,
Yeah.
2+ years.
And yet I still forget to mute the stream. Dag. I was getting echo back in my ear, and I'm like, what the heck?
It happens, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
We have 27 watching, 14 likes already. That's pretty good ratio. Thanks, guys, for showing up.
They love the old man. And
I
that's what
am,
they give you the best like ratio.
yeah, I'm still trying to catch my breath, guys. So sorry. It's been quite a day, and it's only 2:30 here. So not likely to get a whole lot better. But before we get into that, how's your day, Bear?
It's been okay. Thank you very much, mate. I was unwell last night. I went to bed after Ghost Poo, about an hour after Ghost Poo. It takes me a while to kind of like chill out and relax after doing a stream that late in the evening. So I chilled out for a bit, went to bed. Wasn't feeling that great when I went to bed. Woke up after about an hour and a half. In fact, no, I don't think it was even that long. I think it was just about an hour of sleep. Got up for an old man's tinkle. Then tried to go back to sleep, but it felt like Vanilla Bear had been karate chopping me in the neck whilst I was asleep. I was in quite a lot of pain. I didn't feel too good. So I got up, came back down to the office, wrote a video, my Overlord video, finally, which will be released after the stream on Irate Alex. And but 2,000 words, well, just over 2,000 words. Scripted the life out of that. Chilled out again, watched a bit of Sons of Anarchy, went back to bed. Vanilla Bear tried to get me up about an hour after I fell asleep, and it weren't happening. So she got the mother-in-law to take the kiddywinks to school, and I slept through till about 2 in the afternoon.
Ah.
Yeah, the wife has flu, and I think she infected me a little bit.
Yeah, I seen her mention on Twitter earlier that she had the feel bads.
Yeah, she's not feeling great at the moment, but I think my male genes are fighting off the filthy female flu at the moment.
Oh,
So
that toxic masculinity killing off all them germs.
I know, right? Thank God for toxic masculinity. But I know you haven't had the best day.
I have not, and I want to rant about it. Like I told you
I'll,
before the stream, it's my stream, and I can do what I want.
and I will let you rant about it, and then afterwards I'll whinge about YouTube's crappy copyright system. But yeah, please.
So we could change the name of this stream, the Wind Stream.
Yeah,
It's okay. We can do what we want. That's what it's all about.
exactly.
So, for those not in the know or a little bit out of touch, the American Midwest is in a deep freeze at the moment. It's so bad that even Trump has tweeted about it. It is cold, folks.
What did he say? It's cold, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's really cold. Right now, it is 15 degrees, positive 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I know that you don't understand Fahrenheit, Bear, and some of the in the chat may not, but that is minus 9.44444 Celsius. That's actual temperature.
What was it again? Sorry, minus, what is it?
Minus 9 point with a whole bunch of fours after it. So 9.5.
That's cold. That's really
Wind
cold.
chill of -2.
Not very nice weather, in other words.
Which is minus 18 Celsius. Last night, it got down to -9 actual temperature, which is minus 22, almost 23 Celsius.
That's what my freezer is set at.
And I'm sure that states north of us are getting it even worse.
Yeah.
It's if you don't think that's cold, Try again. Yeah, sweetie. My daughter's out and she's in Michigan. She's out in the chat. I'm sure it's 9 degrees there. It's colder. My wife just told me it was 9 degrees where she's at. So yeah, it's cold. Now you put on top of that, the wind is nuts. Now I'm not sure what the wind is, but I'm guessing it's gusting to at least 50 mile an hour because I was out there in it. It's gusting so hard that I keep a rug by the front door at the bottom of it to keep the wind from coming underneath the door. It's blowing the rug out of the way. It's cold. So it's not a day that you want to get out and move around.
Yeah.
You want to stay inside and cuddle up under blankets.
Yeah, with the heater on.
But as most of you know, if you follow me on Twitter, there was a chance that the stream today was going to be late because I had to take my dad. Take my dad to appointments. Really, kind of a misnomer. I had to meet him up there. He's in a convalescent home. I was going to meet him up there. They were transporting him and so forth. So I get up, I get ready, and I leave a little early thinking, because that's the way I am. I like to get places early, and I walk out there, and the van has a flat.
Oh, great.
Which is okay. I've got an air pump, but it's slow, and I have to squat down on these old terrible legs to put it on there, and it is freaking freezing outside. But I get the tire up, and I head off. Now, I don't like going to this particular spot because it's downtown Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, you have told me that downtown Indianapolis is mostly one-way streets and quite confusing.
It's not too bad because it's right across the street from Methodist Hospital, which is right off of an interstate. So I can just jump off the interstate right there. But getting there, I have to pass through an area that's called the Spaghetti Bowl. The Spaghetti Bowl has that name for a reason.
Yeah, we have roads like that here, mate.
At the Spaghetti Bowl, it's about a mile and a half stretch where Interstate 70, Interstate 65, East Street, West Street, and a few other streets all merge for about a mile and a half and then unmerge. And it is as big a mess as that sounds like. So I make it through there. I'm literally screaming at people to get out of my way, quit blocking me in. Because when you come back out of the mess onto 65, you're in the fast lane. And the people behind me did not have enough patience to let me get over. So they're passing me on the right-hand side, not letting me over. I'm going to miss my exit. Dang it. Anyway, I finally make it there. And I go inside. And I wait. And I wait. And I wait. There's still no dad. It gets to be time for his appointment. I go up the stairs to where the office is he's going to and check to see if maybe he somehow got by me. No, he's not there. Checked in with the counter. No, he's not checked in yet. He was supposed to take x-rays before he got up there. Maybe he's down an x-ray. Okay, well, I'll wait up here for a little while. An hour later, he's still not there.
What are you doing?
So I contact my brother-in-law, said, have you heard anything about Dad yet? I've been here for over an hour. He's not here yet. Says, no, I don't, but I'll find out. A little bit later, he comes back and says, well, the people that were supposed to transport him didn't show up, so they canceled. I've sat there for over an hour. I've paid for parking.
And they canceled it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because his transportation didn't show up, so they just canceled. But they did not let any of us or anyone know.
Communication.
Well,
so many people struggle with the concepts of basic communication. It's really irritating.
I'm like, great. There's a parking fee that was for nothing. Now it was only $2, but that's not the point. You can't park anywhere in downtown Indianapolis. It costs you money.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I guess I'll just pack on up and go back home. Thank you very much. I got home, started to stream, talked to you on Twitter to let you know, and that's my day so far. And I am still frozen. I feel like I'm still outside. My insides haven't warmed up yet.
Well, you got yourself a cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
You got the good people of the Redneck Radio out in the chat.
Yeah, 57 now, 34 likes. Look at that. By the way, let me take that before Alex goes on his rant. Like and share the stream, because you know YouTube's not going to do that. And if you want to help even further, the links to my Patreon and to my Streamlabs are in the description. As always, if you hit my Streamlabs, please let me know, because I don't have alerts set up yet. And folks, just to let you know, this goes to help a lot. So far, you guys have helped me keep my electricity on, pay my cable bill, about to pay it again. All because you guys have been generous. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Indeed, yeah. And you also paid for his annoying parking fines today.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, YouTube is a pain in the ass. I've had some issues the last couple of days with YouTube. One of those being notifications being a massive issue, as always. Most creators will tell you that notifications on this platform suck ass. And we often find ourselves relying on you good people to copy and paste the link to your social medias and share it into places like Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and wherever else, really, that you're capable of sharing links. So if you could do that, that would be super swell. It's not for me, it's for the old man. So,
yep. And thank you, Nuts, for reminding me. Get your bets in early on when the old man has to go to the bathroom.
Oh, of course, of course.
She's saying 40 minutes.
So. We're 15 minutes in now. You have a certain amount of cold in your body at the moment, and that's going to exacerbate it. So I'm going to give it another 15 minutes before you end up going.
Oh, good Lord. Earlier today, when I left, I had went to the bathroom just before I left, and I stepped outside and started pumping that tire up, and I had to go again. I'm like, what is it with the cold?
Also, Drunken Uncle pointed something out to me last night, because he texted me whilst I was asleep, and I texted him back when I woke up. And I said, oh, I got up for an old man's. He said, funny how after you turned 30, Bear, that you started going to the toilet a lot more.
Well, it didn't start happening for me till I passed 50. A lot of changes come down. I started putting on weight, got a belly, you know, my legs went south. All of that happened at 50. Actually, at your age, I was still in pretty decent shape. I was still coaching all kinds of sports, playing full court basketball.
It must have been nice.
It was.
Having your bodily integrity intact for a decent amount of time. As mine started falling apart. Restless leg syndrome, getting up for an old man's every damn night. But anyway, yeah, speaking of YouTube, YouTube has decided to fist me dry a few times the last couple of days, where it's not alerted people to my content. It's either hidden my videos from their subscription feeds, but then again, this has happened to every YouTuber out there. YouTube had a massive bug that lasted about 2 days, even affected people like JonTron, where his video just wasn't appearing for people, was invisible on his own channel page. Which although my content wasn't invisible on the channel page, it was invisible to a lot of other people. So some of my videos did worse than usual, including a Lord Bear video on Irate Alex. And I know how much people enjoy Lord Bear, so I was like, this video is not doing very well. And anyway, I tried to do my try not to vomit challenge. And I picked out 3 videos from a YouTube channel called Sandra Lee, otherwise known as the Dr. Pimple Popper. You may have heard of her. She has incredible amounts of views on her channel. Incredible. One of her videos I looked at 21 million views. Y'all are sick, by the way. Just want to point that out. Like I was doing it for content, whereas you people were watching that content for fun.
Yeah. Duck Dog, all of Boston is like that spaghetti bowl, and I have to take a 13-ton, 50-foot long truck and trailer down there once a week. Hang City Planners. Yeah, I used to work for Federal Express, Duck Dog. I heard some horror stories about Boston. The only one that's even might be even worse is Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a nightmare. But yeah, I've heard stories about Boston. So, not to interrupt you, go on, Bear. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So it's okay, mate. So as I've tried to explain to people, there are some channels on YouTube that have corporate interest, whether they're owned by a television company or broadcaster of some kind.
Right.
And if you so much as use 3 seconds of their content, they will either A, claim your video, they'll claim part of your video, or they'll straight up block your video worldwide. And there's the last thing that happened to my video. It got blocked worldwide because I guess her content is protected by the Learning Channel, otherwise known as TLC, the channel which is filled to the brim full of really, really freakish individuals. So the video got blocked worldwide, and that really, really aggravated me, as I knew that if I challenged it, it would have probably resulted in some kind of strike. So I thought that I'd leave it, and I uploaded it to BitChute to get around it. And I made a video today. As I said, I spent about 2 or 3 hours scripting in the early hours of this morning, working really hard. You know, the script was 2,200 words long. Been editing, recording, all that kind of stuff this afternoon, and copyright blocked worldwide, wide. And that confuses me because when it comes to, like, if I'm reviewing something, I'll use several different trailers, and trailers are usually fair use, but not in this particular circumstance. So I had to go and re-edit the video and exchange some of the clips for stills instead. And I feel like the integrity of the video was compromised a little bit, to be honest. Like it wasn't bad enough that I recorded whilst, having the flu,
Yeah.
having the deadly man flu, but also, having to remove some of the content from the video and replace it with screenshots is like,
Yeah.
bit annoying.
Ryan Donovan, bite me. He says it's 89 degrees there in Nicaragua.
Oh, nice. What's that in Celsius? Sounds quite hot.
Let's say it is 31.6.
Oh, wow. So nice and toasty then.
Yeah. And data says it's even cool down in Miami, and that's very unusual. So
that's almost the temperature that I require to be sunburnt.
I don't know. I've seen you. You're pretty pale.
Yeah, that's because I spend like all of my time indoors. I used to be darker.
Yeah. You need to get some of that vitamin D, dude.
I do. I need that Vit D in my life.
Yeah.
But it has to be at least like 36 degrees, and I have to be out in it for a long period of time, before it burns me. And even then, the burn doesn't last long. And I go golden brown.
Oh, there you go. You can't tell it on camera because my camera is awful. But I have a slight olive tint to my skin, so I don't sunburn very easy. I can sunburn. Yes, I can, but not very easily.
He's one of them Italian rednecks.
Yeah, it's kind of a Mediterranean kind of tint to my skin, kind of a pale Mediterranean. But yeah, Corey, I get you. The funniest thing is seeing the South freak out about 2 inches of snow. I know, right? I know. But yeah. So
Simius, you got that joke from Eddie Griffin.
On that
Working,
Prince tone. Yeah.
yeah, we're working on that Prince tone because he brings up he brings up about racists, and like he doesn't understand why like a racist white person would ever go out and like sort of hang around in the sun to try and look like black people.
Mm-hmm.
You say you don't see black people, you know, hanging around in the moonlight trying to get that Prince tone. That's a good
Oh,
stand up, by the way. That's a good stand up.
good Lord. I have a cousin who's a couple of years younger than I am, and she's one of those people that overdo the tanning beds.
Ah, yeah.
She is a dark brown all year long, and she now looks 20 years older than I do because of it. She's just she looks like old wrinkly leather.
Well, that's what happens if you spend too much time out in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind cold weather back scan, but it's cold enough right now that I even had to zip my coat up and put my hood up on my jacket. And if you know me, that's cold. I don't normally even zip my jacket when I go out.
I get really cold, man. I don't know what it is. It doesn't even have to be that cold outside for me to get really, really cold.
Well, from the waist up, I stay pretty warm, but because of my disease from the waist down, I'm never warm, always cold. Middle of August, my legs are cold. Anyway, here's our rants for the day, huh?
Yeah. 25 minutes of rants.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance because of the day that I've had to do much searching for news today. So hope you have some for us today. There is a couple of articles that I saw that I wasn't able to save that I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
Just as general topic. Seen an article that I guess the boomers are to blame again.
Oh, what have you lot been doing now?
We're retiring.
Well, I mean, you're all of like retirement age, aren't you?
Yeah, we're retiring, and there's no backup plan because none of the younger generations are able to fill in the spots, the high paying technical spots that we're vacating, because they're all getting degrees in
Gender studies.
gender studies.
Well, I mean, one thing that's been really big from our conservative government anyway, and I don't know whether it would work stateside, is the concept of apprenticeships. Apprenticeships have gotten really, really big over here in the UK now. So young people are going off and they're learning on the job. They go to college once a week and they're learning technical skills. There are even apprenticeships for adults these days. And
Yep.
that could be something that might help if there's a shortage of certain skills. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think was going to happen, folks, when people, not just women, men, were not going for STEM, degrees in the STEM fields anymore? We boomers get a lot of grief for messing up the world. But apparently we were keeping it running too, because they're complaining now that we're all retiring and dying off and whatnot. There's nobody to fill the spot.
Well, I'm sorry, Bloodwing. Your entire generation, even though you've worked all your lives, you've now got to work until death.
Yeah, apparently. Zombie Teddy, I saw a guy walking around in a parka and a pair of shorts this morning. God bless America. I used to see it all the time. When I worked at Federal Express, it would be weather like this, and there were still people out there wearing shorts. And I would just look at them and say, frickin' idiots.
Oh, dear. Well, I've managed to, in the last 2 minutes, grab a bunch of articles.
Okay.
If you wanted to go through them.
Yep. We'll get those just in a second. I wanted to go through one more that I don't have the actual article, but I seen it. There's a security guard. Oh, gosh, where was it? Uh, I forget where it was. But anyway, he lost his job because he tackled someone that was had punched the police in the face and tried to escape.
But he's a security guard.
Yeah, he was a security guard for Best Buy
Right.
and was outside, seen this go down, and the guy ran by him and he tackled him.
What?
Yeah. Now I get it; it's against their Best Buy's policy that you don't put hands on anyone. But you would think this would be a special circumstance.
If he hits a police officer.
Yeah, he wasn't chasing a shoplifter or something like that. This was a guy that was wanted on several federal warrants that they tried to arrest. He punched the police detective in the face and ran.
And then the security guard bulldogged him.
Yep.
But he's doing his civic duty.
Yep.
And his job, technically speaking. That's kind of what security is supposed to do.
Yep.
I mean, even like doormen on bars over here, like if you hang around on any high street where there are bars in England, you on like a Friday or Saturday night, you will see people literally being thrown from bars. Especially in places like Blackpool. Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
I was walking down the street one day and just seen someone fly out of a door. It was hilarious.
This person is a veteran. The security guard, he's a veteran. He personally does not sound too upset about it. And sounds like he would do it again. And I'm like, good for you.
I'm sure someone will hire him.
Yeah. I mean,
they hear about that and they'd be like, sign him up straight away.
I get it. Why Best Buy would have a policy like that. You don't want people that are just shoplifting getting manhandled and beat half to death, of course.
Well, being bulldogged isn't, it's...
Yeah, it was a special circumstance, you would think, but no, there's no leniency. He broke company policy. He has to go.
That's stupid. The criminal punched a police officer and then he took him down.
Yeah. Chat, some of you seem to be aware of the story I'm talking about. Let me know where that was, because I've forgotten. I've forgotten, and I do, as I said, I do not have it in front of me.
Well, that's stupid. But, the guy's a veteran. If it made local news as well, I mean, that there's his resume out there.
Yeah, that's my hope, is that somebody sees the story and hires this fella.
I think someone will.
I
think someone will. Someone will be like, yeah, God bless that man,
because that's the problem with society is today is far too many people don't want to get involved. And yes, I get it. It can be dangerous to get involved. But it's like,
Well, this is it, we've had similar things in the UK, where people have been arrested for defending their home from burglars, from home invasion, and being arrested and having charges pressed against them by the bloody burglar because they tried to defend their own property, and then there was that thing recently where the police, who were getting their asses handed to them by a couple of criminals, and now the police is basically saying you have to get involved if you see the police in trouble. Well, what happens if I hurt that guy? If I run in there and I try to restrain them, but I'm not trained in restraining techniques, what happens then? Am I going to have, if I get involved, am I going to have charges pressed against me? If I don't get involved, am I going to have charges pressed against me? It's like, what?
Yeah, I here in the state that I live in, we can shoot someone that's breaking into our home.
Mm.
But if we shoot him in our yard, I guess we got to drag him in the house because that's not legal. Go out, drag him in the house. Oh, I shot him in here. Really serious. But yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So you have stories.
Yeah, I've just grabbed a couple off of Reddit that we can go through if you want to.
Yep.
Okay, first one. Man found guilty of sexually assaulting horse, sentenced to 20 months in prison. And this guy has quite possibly the longest neck I've ever seen on anybody. Quite possibly longer than that guy that was like standing up for Antifa on a few like last year.
You know, I kind of get it. He kind of looks like a horse. So
yeah.
Good Lord, that's a neck.
It's very long, isn't it?
That is one long neck.
Giraffe man rapes horse. Yeah. Disgusting. An Oregon man is sentenced to 20 months in prison Tuesday after he was convicted of sexually assaulting an animal. According to a statement issued by the Washington County District Attorney's Office, Kenneth Elijah Diuk was found guilty on January 18th of sexual assault of an animal and unlawful use of a motor vehicle. An investigation began when Washington County Sheriff's Office received a call from a horse stable owner located in Hillsborough who suspected someone tampered with a horse in her barn. Tampered, understatement there, and asked authorities to investigate. Hillsborough is located about 20 miles west of Portland, Oregon. Diuk, according to officials, was quickly developed as a person of interest in the case. As the investigation continues, the horse owner's daughter, who officially says is a veterinarian, also began to look into the case, and based on evidence she found in the stable, oh God, just imagine what the evidence looked like. She suspected the horse had been sexually assaulted. Diuk, officials say, denied any wrongdoing, but admitted entering the stable without permission and touching the horse's tail. That wasn't the horse's tail you were touching there, mate. A DNA test later linked Diuk to the crime. In addition to the jail sentence, a judge ordered Diuk to go on post-prison supervision for 2 years and register as a sex offender. Oh, wow. So when he gets out, he's got to go explain to like all of his neighbors that he's a sex offender.
Yeah. The wild part is that there are still states in the United States that don't have any laws on book that make bestiality illegal.
Oh, really? Yep. Well, I'm glad they do in this particular case. So a man who rapes a horse isn't considered stable. But
oh, random American. I like it.
I mean, who looks at a horse and thinks, do you know what? I'd like a go on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Truck and Bear says, was this guy the pitcher or the catcher? I'm assuming the pitcher. It has happened the other way around, and people have died.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had the unfortunate experiencing of walking down my mess deck once whilst I was serving in the Navy, and I found a DVD in front of the TV. Didn't say what it was, so I stuck it in the DVD player. And yeah, I quickly removed the disc.
Right.
Yeah, pretty grim stuff. But we'll move on.
Okay.
Netflix asks viewers to stop calling Ted Bundy hot.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, dear. I know there has been some discussion on Twitter, a little bit of outrage because people like Ted Bundy tend to have fans. It's quite typical of serial killers. And these people have had to have it explained to them that Ted Bundy had a lot of female fans.
Yeah.
During his heyday,
Yes, he
and
did.
I guess people are trolling a little bit. I don't know, or they might not be.
He had women that would show up at his trial.
Yeah,
to get a look at him, and it never made any sense to me. And this is not unusual. Now Ted Bundy was a fairly good-looking guy, so I get that he's attractive, but come on.
Well, he was an articulate, charismatic man. Extremely confident.
I mean, that's exactly how he got away with what he did for as long as he did.
Serial killers often do, don't they?
Truth be known, Ted Bundy might not have gotten caught had he not pushed his luck there at the end in Florida. He went pretty much on a rampage and broke into 2 different places in one night. He kind of broke his MO.
Yeah.
Is what he did. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's been a kerfuffle on Twitter because some person, I guess there's a new movie coming out telling the story from the viewpoint of his girlfriend at the time. And they were, the person on Twitter, quit making Bundy look like he was a sexy, but he was. He was very charismatic. People didn't, his parents, his mother would not admit that he was guilty until the very end when he finally confessed.
Yeah.
He at the very end, when it got within, days or weeks of his execution, he finally broke down and said, yeah, I did it. And here's what it is. Now, the reason he done that, I'm pretty sure, is he thought that would delay his execution date because they'd want to find out where all the bodies were buried, but that didn't work.
Yeah, I watched a documentary on him years ago, and I remember they filmed his execution from outside the prison. They had the old that light system that they have on for when they're doing it. So let's go through the article.
Yep.
Once every few weeks, a new movie or TV show on Netflix seems to grab the attention of everyone, if at least for a brief moment. Bird Box, You as recent examples, but Netflix thrives on getting people talking about the content available in their library. Right now, the flavor of the week appears to be the new Ted Bundy documentary, Conversations with the Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes, which I'm planning on watching myself. Similar to how the serial killer wooed men and women alike with his charm while alive, even after being convicted of brutal murders, the documentary puts this in front of a new audience, and they have had an interesting response. A quick browse around social media with everyone talking about the series, plenty of random internet commentators have noticed how attractive Bundy comes across in the docuseries. Netflix responded this morning with a tweet requesting that people stop calling stop calling the serial killer hot, and that there are plenty of other attractive people in other Netflix original shows.
Well, he was. That's how he was able to do what he did. He did not look like some depraved, mass murdering necrophile. He just didn't. And he was very charismatic. He was a good looking guy, and he had this uncanny ability to change his looks. You can look at different mugshots of him throughout the years, and his look would change drastically between each one. But the fact of the matter is he was a good looking guy.
Yeah.
He just was.
I don't know why Netflix would get so uppity about this, to be honest.
No. because I mean they've done the documentary. They've got to be aware that that's how he was able to pull off what he pulled off.
Yeah, yeah. They tweeted out as from Netflix US saying, I've seen a lot of talk about Ted Bundy's alleged hotness and would like to gently remind everyone that there are literally thousands of hot men on the service, almost all of whom are not convicted serial murderers. While the Netflix tweet is largely in jest, it does seem rather absurd that following Bundy's vicious crimes, he would still find a way into the hearts and minds of a new generation. Well, this is the thing, though. Serial killers, especially the male serial killers, the most famous, tend to be extremely intelligent, charismatic, articulate, good-looking guys that stand out from other people. I've read a couple of books that spoke about various different serial killers, and they all of them have that kind of thing that kind of thing in common.
Yeah,
it's why they were able to get away with what they did for so long.
but honestly, real talk, it really doesn't seem to matter whether or not they were good looking or not. Serial killers have their women following. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, was not a good looking man. His teeth were rotted out of his head. He looked evil. But the women were lined up in his courtroom hoping to get a look at him.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it?
It is odd. It is.
And even then, it's not even just serial killers. I mean, you may have heard of him, Charles Bronson, not the actor, the extremely violent inmate here in the UK was, I'm fairly sure at one point he was the UK's most violent prisoner. Bald head, big old ridiculous like mustache, little black tinted glasses. He never killed anybody. Like he robbed post offices. And he was like certified insane. He had an incredible female following. In fact, he was visited by a woman once, and she straight up just raped him.
Yeah,
like she got up, she walked around, didn't even say anything, and pulled his pants down and sat on his dick. Yeah. And he just sat there and took it.
Yeah. Somehow or another, Bundy actually got married in court while he was on trial.
It's insane.
In the courtroom, and was able to raise a family. He had a child without conjugal visits. And I'm not sure how that works. But,
Peter Sutcliffe was an interesting serial killer. We've only had a couple serial killers in UK history. Peter Sutcliffe murdered prostitutes and chopped them up and stuff. Pretty grim guy. I can't remember what the guy looked like. But yeah, I'm going to give that a watch at some point.
Yeah, it is a decent documentary that they've put up on Netflix. But
I personally am fascinated by them.
Oh, I've mentioned before that it's almost a passion of mine, a pastime. I'm just so fascinated by what makes them different than me. I would never consider doing these things, and yet they do it and don't even blink. I don't understand. I'm getting told to check my Streamlabs.
Oh, good.
Hold on here. You would have thought that I would have already had that up, but yeah, I didn't. It's been a day, guys. Serious.
I'm sure they'll forgive you, mate. I'm sure they'll forgive you.
While we wait for my slow computer. Okay, Streamlabs, my donations.
Tom of Golf City says Peter Sutcliffe was arrested 5 minutes, a 5-minute walk away from where he sat now. Oh, that's close.
Thank you for the donation, True Master Cole. Between Bundy and the Drag Queen shows on Netflix, is it really any wonder that people prefer Bundy? True enough.
I know I've mentioned him before. The American hired gun for the mob. The Iceman. What was
The
his name?
Iceman. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Something Kalinsky.
Chat will tell us, I'm sure. Somebody in chat will tell us.
Well, one of the first things I did, and I set out to do this when I got onto Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, is because I'd read his book. I sought out the hotel that he stayed at before he killed someone in Rio.
Right.
I took a picture of it. I was like, "This is where the Iceman stayed before he killed someone." I was really excited about it. Really excited about it. We should move on. We should move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next piece of news I have is about Apple.
Uh-huh.
You can't sue us for slowing down your iPhones because you invited us into your home. We can explain. Richard Kalinsky, thank you so much. Yeah, I read his book. Great book, by the way. A very interesting life. The man was a monster, right? The man was crazy, and the way that he killed some people, really just genius. You know, he came up with some very interesting ways of slaying people and getting rid of their bodies.
Right.
Like pretending to sneeze in their face, where he would squeeze like a little squeezy bottle with cyanide straight in their face. Or then sometimes he would dump people's bodies in caves full of rats and stuff, so they'd get eaten. But anyway, so yeah, we're like a building contractor, explains Cupertino, more like vampires, thinks the rest of the world. Apple is like building a contractor you hire to redo your kitchen. The tech giant has argued in an attempt to explain why it shouldn't have to pay customers for slowing down their iPhones. And of course, everybody knows that Apple was caught out a little while back for purposely slowing down people's iPhones. And the battery life on these fucking things are dog shit as well. Did he smirk at his victims? Well, he wasn't. He wasn't a white supremacist, at least as far as I know.
That deadly smirk.
He's a big guy, though. Really big guy. Incredibly strong. People often say that the reason why he was so messed up in the head is because he witnessed, I think it was his brother or a friend as a child, get crushed by a milk float. You laughing at that? Because it tried to go uphill or something, and it came back down and crushed his friend or brother. I can't remember. Anyway, addressing a bunch of people trying to sue it for damages, the iGiants lawyers told PDF, a California court this month. Plaintiffs are like homeowners who have let a building contractor into their homes to upgrade their kitchens, thus giving permission for the contractor to demolish and change parts of the house. Really? They went on, any claim that the contractor caused excessive damage in the process sounds in contract, not trespass. That somewhat bizarre argument, I know, right? In response to yet another lawsuit against Apple for releasing an iOS update that slows down the processor in older iPhones to reduce the electronics power draw and thus avoid rapidly draining the handheld's weary batteries. Yeah, but it doesn't stop it from draining the battery super quick anyway. Good grief, man. Like if I actually try to use my iPhone, it dies within inside 3 hours.
You couldn't pay me to own an Apple product. just won't.
Well, I like the UI on them, so.
Oh, I'm sure the UE and all of that, and I get it. Hey, all you need, I get it. I just no, I just won't.
That's fair enough, mate. I can see why. I mean, they behave like this.
Yeah.
Purposely, slowing down your phone through an update.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Almost from the very beginning. And yes, I was very much around when Apple started. Almost from the very beginning, they just had that snooty kind of attitude that I'm better than you.
Freaking better than you.
Yeah. Anna Kasparian, right? Chink? Right. Uh, no, wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I can see why people tend to get annoyed with them, but I don't like change.
Yeah, I get you. I understand.
Yeah, that's why I probably never use an Android, or anything else. To be honest with you, God, man, I keep hiccuping. We'll move on from that. Apple are gay. So this over to Newsweek. North Korea launches clothing line that can be eaten to avoid starvation.
Edible clothing. Now they've had edible clothing for quite a while, but it was kind of a sex aid thing.
Yeah, well, I guess because the people of North Korea live in a totalitarian communist dictatorship where they don't get a lot of food. Well, when food runs out, when they can't queue up and get their bread and powdered milk in the morning, they can resort to eating their socks.
I didn't know that Dick Train, Jesse Ventura, might run for president. I don't know if you know who that is, Bear, but he's an ex-professional wrestler who was governor of Minnesota for a while.
Okay.
Very conservative individual to the point that he's almost conspiracy theory kind of. But yeah, that would be. I didn't know that. That would be interesting to see him run. Go ahead, Bear.
Oh, okay. There's no problem, mate. Just talk over me. It's fine. I keep like coughing up stuff, so please feel free. North Korea has released a line of shirts for men that it claims can be eaten to avoid starvation if necessary. You know you've got a great country right there, where you have to release state-issued clothing that you can eat. Oh, good grief. Alec Sigley, an Australian graduate student at Kim Il-sung University in the Northern Korean capital, Pyongyang, first reported on the unique fashion trend in a column for news site North Korea News. His article overviewed a men's fashion magazine released by the country's clothing research center. Clothing research center. Oh, good God. A scan of an interior spread of the magazine featured button-up dress shirts, and Sigley translated the Korean text to the left side. Clothing made from artificial flannelette fabrics composed of trace elements such as high-grade protein, amino acids, fruit juice, magnesium, iron, and calcium as clothing worn by people engaged in sailing, outdoor exploration, and mountain climbing can be eaten to avoid starvation in the event that food has run out. The copy read on the other side of the spread, and then a caption said, clothing that dissolves in water. So you're basically using survival clothing as everyday clothing.
What kind of survival clothing would that be, though, if it dissolves in water? That's not very good protection.
No, I know.
Hey, mate, your pants look pretty tasty there.
Let me just break out the ranch real quick. Yeah. Add some flavor to it.
All right, who's got the ranch?
Good grief. The magazine is titled Men's Clothing, Shape, and Design Materials. It also cites a quote from modern-day North Korea's founder, Kim Il-sung, for its tagline, men also ought to go about wearing varied clothing in several styles. According to Sigley, well, they should finish that quote with, even though you may not have a choice in the matter. According to Sigley, North Korea men generally dress in a more formal way than in many other countries because they don't have a choice. He explained that he rarely sees men wearing t-shirts or other informal attire unless they are playing sports or carrying out physical labor. In addition to the button-up shirts, the magazine features suits, a range of outerwear, and ties. Just having tie for dinner.
Yeah. And it is that time, folks. If you bet on almost an hour, You're right. I'll be right back. The old man has to go to the bathroom.
Roger that. I was off by 30 minutes. I should have said an hour like I normally do. Never mind, never mind. So I hope everyone in the chat is doing well on this wonderful Tuesday. I hope you're all dropping a like and sharing the stream for Bloodwing. It's for the old man. I'm sure you'd be more than happy to do so. And if you'd like to help him out and keep him on the internet and help support the old man, please feel free to throw some money at him via his Streamlabs or his Patreon. Both are linked in the chat, guys. I'd really appreciate it if you did do that. Owen Harmon says, good news, Brexit wrecking amendments have been defeated. Excellent. Excellent. I did hear something about that on the radio today. But I didn't manage to catch the last few seconds of that report. So I'll have to check out Brexit news tomorrow. Next in 45 minutes. Yeah, probably Faithless. It was good on Pat. Done with work. Awesome. Dr. House says, well, it may be cold in Indiana, but there's already a warm southerly flow approaching. Indeed. So if you start a food fight, would that make you a TIE fighter? Hey! Hey, what's up, Jen? Well, it's not so cold that I can make ice statues with my nips yet, so I'm good. Some bullet hard nipples right there. So is Brexit happening? Unknown. I believe Theresa May does have to go back and try to renegotiate, which we know is probably going to fail. So, at some point we're going to have to either look at having a second referendum, which is what I think is going to happen, judging by the amount of spurgulations I've seen in the news recently, or it'll be a nice, hard, veiny Brexit, which is what I'm hoping for. BWD Brexit with Bear. If the next stream I do will probably be Thursday morning. By then I should be able to reset my sleeping pattern again. 8 here in Minneapolis with 30 mile an hour winds. Oh, sorry, -8. Sorry. Oh, that's cold. That's pack your balls and leave kind of weather. Brian says, hey, Bear, we old guys aren't that pathetically old. What are you talking about? I wasn't talking shit about old people. Jong-un loves eating cats. I'm sure he does. I'll continue reading for you guys. Exaggerated reports have circulated in the past suggesting that North Koreans are all required to dress like their supreme leader. Which isn't true because we have seen pictures of them all standing together, and they do wear different clothes and stuff. Currently, Kim Jong-un, with whom President Donald Trump has previously said he has fallen in love with, writing for the New York Times in late 2017, journalist Carol Foran pointed out that there are a lot of misconceptions about North Korean fashion. It's easy to think of North Korea as an irredeemably one-dimensional place. Just look at the huge demonstrations that are the most common public image of local life, invariable, showing thousands of citizens, some in military garb, some in Korean cultural dress, still others in various uniforms, all performing in lockstep, she wrote. But she pointed out that after a trip to the country, she realized there are a vibrant variety of styles and colors. Yeah, that doesn't mean they have freedom, though, does it? I've got a wonderful selection of state-approved shirts in black and brown, Bloodwing. Oh, -22. Good grief.
What, Brian Donovan? You just said my name, although that does have an E in the middle of it. Everybody forgets the E, though. It's all right.
They do. It's Blue Day, Wing.
Yeah. Oh, and while I was away going to the bathroom, I have a summons to appear for jury service. Wondermiss.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I've done it before.
Tell him you're racist.
Well, in fact, that may be the story I tell today about my time as a juror on a murder trial.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, looks like sometime in March
Oh, delightful.
Have to go down and see whether they want me or not.
Isn't your birthday in March?
It is, because it's
See, we even share the same month as a
yeah, it's
birthday.
just a few days after yours or before yours, or they're close.
Mine's on the 21st.
The day before. Mine's the 22nd.
See, he's my dad. I'm telling you, like, because I share the same day as my mum. You see,
Yeah.
I was born on my mum's birthday. It's confirmed. Bloodwing came to the UK during the 80s, and he made sweet love to my mother, and they disappeared again in a Owen Harmon, you have the same birthday as me.
Random American says, tell them you can only serve if you can live stream the trial. Yeah, that would go over real good. It would be interesting, though. That would, can you imagine?
Bloodwing pausing the everybody in the room to just announce that he's got a super chat.
Yeah. Your Honor, can we hold on a minute? Let me read the super chat.
Make it quick. Yeah. Bloodwing in a LSD sort of haze somehow got to the UK, smashed my mum's back doors in, and then flew back to the US. And then 9 months later, I was born.
I am not saying that it's impossible. Anything would, concerning the 70s, anything would have been possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what you've told me about the 70s and 80s, mate. Yeah. Moving on over to the Guardian now. The United Arab Emirates Gender Equality Awards won entirely by men.
Yep.
My shock, Bloodwing. Try to imagine it, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah. Emirati authorities ridiculed on social media after Gender Balance Index awards announced. And it's all a bunch of very, very angry looking desert people. Authorities in the United Arab Emirates have been ridiculed after it emerged that all of the winners of the initiative designed to foster gender equality in the workplace were men. Yes, I have seen the pictures. I'll show you the pictures, Blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flip over there.
There you go. That guy there. Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that.
They're awfully light-skinned, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're about the same color as me. I am at the moment. They live in a really, really hot place.
Yeah.
So stupid. So stupid. Oh, the gender awards. All given to men. Well, maybe that's because just men are the best. I don't know. They were wearing dresses. Yeah, they are wearing dresses. Well, you know that men can be women now. So, yeah, I know, right? Authorities, I read that bit, certificates and medals were awarded by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President of the United Arab Emirates and ruler of Dubai, in the categories of Best Government Entity Supporting Gender Balance, Best Federal Authority Supporting Gender Balance, and Best Gender Balance Initiative. All given to men. It's because men are the best, I suppose. Men are the best. The awards went to the Finance Ministry, the Federal Competitiveness and Statistics Authority, and Ministry of Human Resources, respectively. Ministry of Human Resources, good grief, which were all represented by male awardees. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Interior, Lieutenant General Foreign Mohammed, was recognized as the best personality supporting gender balance for his efforts to implement maternity leave in the UAE's military. A tweet celebrating the awards was met with mockery, with comments such as, "Wow, really nailed the diversity there. One of those dudes was wearing grey." And then another comment was, "Has the Onion hacked y'all?" Another Twitter user asked, referring to the satirical website. The UAE's Gender Balance Index Awards recognize progress made in the public sector over the last year in meeting parity goals set by the government in 2015. We are proud of the success of the Emirati women and their role in central shaping the future of the country. A tweet from the official Dubai media official said, "Gender balance has become a pillar in our government institutions." If you say so. If you say so.
What were their goals? They had to hire a woman, a single woman.
I guess so. I suppose for countries like this, that would be a big step forward.
Yeah.
The report found that by 2015, 135,000 Emirati women participated in the labor market, compared with just 1,000 in 1975. And 43% of women now hold bachelor degrees, compared with 23% of men. So I guess they are a little bit more progressive now. But I still have to wonder whether women are allowed to walk around on their own.
Oh, probably not. I mean, they've only just recently started letting them drive, haven't they?
Well, that was Saudi Arabia.
Oh, they're all the same to me.
Bless the sand people. Bless the sand people. Def Networks just says, so who else is fucked off? Parliament just blocked a no-deal Brexit. Did they? If they did that, I would not be a happy chappy. Grr. Oh, my shock.
Jason Bird says they just needed to say they might hire a woman.
Yeah. One of the articles I tried to grab was blocked because I live in the European SSR.
Yeah.
So I've sent it to you.
Oh, okay.
To have a goosey gander at.
Let's open this up. Just a reminder, folks, when I'm reading articles, I cannot see chat. So I have one screen.
VB, I replied to your DM.
Man steals ring from Portland pawn shop, tries to sell it back 24 hours later. You think you might have wanted to wait just a little longer? The ring valued at $11,885. What was it doing at a pawn shop? Was stolen Sunday evening from All That Glitters on North Lombard Street. The general manager of a local pawn shop says a man stole an expensive ring only to try to sell it back 24 hours later. I'm happy about it, said Steve Souza, general manager of All That Glitters. I imagine you are. The ring, valued at $11,885, was stolen Sunday evening from the All That Glitters location on North Lombard Street. An employee was showing the ring to a potential customer around closing time when the man reached over the counter and took it. Unless you've been through something like that, it's hard to explain what it does to you, said employee Tony Kastner. As Kastner was finishing her interview with KGW on Monday evening, the phone rang. It was Souza calling from All That Glitter store in Southeast Portland. He said he had a customer looking for some quick cash in exchange for a ring. So I guess it was a different location. He said he bought it for his wife in Vegas, said Souza. I said, really? We had a similar ring stolen from our Lombard store. Souza quickly realized the man trying to sell the ring was the same man who stole it. He was wearing the same jacket. A confrontation ensued. The suspect rushed over a monitor and tore out of the store. He left behind the expensive ring. I got my ring back, said Souza. This is an instance where crime does not pay. Souza is offering a $1,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of the suspect. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office has added the All That Glitters incident to its investigation of recent ring thefts. So, yeah. Here's a pro tip, guys. If you want to steal a ring from a pawn shop, don't take it back to that pawn shop to steal it, to sell it. And at
What's
least
that
change your
show?
jacket.
America's Dumbest Criminals, is it?
This guy would definitely be a candidate.
The cheek of the guy, the audacity on him to reach over the counter to steal a ring and then come back the next day and try and sell it.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, you might want to consider a change of career there, fellow, because crime's not working out for you there.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, Lauren, good to see you. That's it. She says she's happy to catch the show today.
Ah.
What a dumbass.
Yeah.
You know, we slam that man's fingers in a hatch. I say.
Something.
Yeah. Or just get a salmon and hit him with it.
Yeah.
Shut up, Cryptic. Hi, Al. I've got 2 more articles.
Gourd head.
To go through, so I'll crack on with that. This is from AJC.com. Zoo will let you name a cockroach after your ex for Valentine's Day.
Read that again.
Zoo will let you name a cockroach after your ex for Valentine's Day.
Okay, then.
Which I think is, in my opinion, that's better than revenge porn.
Yeah, probably. But...
Yeah. Fair Seat, England. Oh, this is over here. A zoo in England may have the perfect Valentine's gift for that ex who won't stop bugging you. For a £1.50, that's about $2 donation, the Helmsley Conservation Centre in Fair Seat will name a cockroach after your or your friend's worthless ex-someone on this special holiday of love, the attraction said in a Facebook post. We are highlighting these creatures through our Name a Cockroach program. We think adopt is a little too strong. After all, you probably don't want to adopt your ex to raise money for our projects at the zoo. The post continued. So there's a post here from the Helmsley Conservation Centre saying, now we know it's a little over a month away, but we know you like to be organised. For those that don't quite require revenge, there's another way to make you feel better about getting back at your ex this Valentine's Day. The HCC is offering the chance to name a cockroach in honour of your or your friend's worthless ex-someone on this special holiday of love. Is there anybody out there you'd be willing to make a small donation to name them after a cockroach?
I plead the fifth.
So do I. It's not so much exes as it is just people that I don't like.
Nothing says love like a cockroach.
What it is, people, is it's just to, I guess, raise money, and you get to have a bit of fun. They probably give you like a certificate as well that you can show to someone that you don't like, saying, "Hey, look, I named this cockroach after you." Yeah, I've got quite the list. I'd probably end up spending a fortune if I went down there. But my final article, Bloodwing,
all right,
that I've managed to get in the weird news section, although I imagine there's probably some Brexit stuff I want to spurg out about in a minute. Bolsonaro government reveals plan to develop the unproductive Amazon. So, obviously, Brazil has a good portion of the Amazon forest in their country.
Right.
Bolsonaro administration chief of strategic affairs Maynard Santa Rosa last week announced new Brazilian mega infrastructure projects that include a dam on the Trombetas River, a bridge over the Amazon River, and an extension of the BR-163 highway from the Amazon River through 300 miles of rainforest to the Suriname border. Santa Rosa, a retired general, said that these Amazon biome infrastructure projects had as their purpose the integration of what he called an unproductive desert-like region in the national productive system. The Trombetas region contains 4 indigenous reserves, 8 Quilombo communities, and 5 conservation units. In his radio announcements, the official provided few details on the project, saying nothing about costs, where the money to build would come from, what the socio-environmental impacts might be, or the timeline for the construction. I'm all in favor of destroying the Amazon rainforest because there's a lot of spiders, snakes, and parasites that will swim up your pee stream and get stuck in your Japsai, and then you can't remove it. So,
Random American, in reference to the last story, get that for Papa Roach. But wouldn't that be our last resort? Dum 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 dum. See what I did there? Papa Roach joke.
Devil Fruit Zero says Alex Trebek, bear doesn't count. He's a bear. What you got about?
I don't know. Alex Trebek is a game show host.
What is that a reference to?
Not sure.
Furry kitten, fuck off Greenpeace before you even start. yeah, they can go get fucked as well. Fuck the Amazon rainforest. There's too many things, too many creepy crawlies and things that slither and
yeah. I'm not very inclined to go visit there myself.
Yeah, it's just really sweaty there. You know, they should call it the sweaty forest. It's always raining.
Yeah,
it's ridiculously hot all the time. It's like just disease and spiders. The only Amazon that I like is the one that I can purchase things from online.
Well, there's the female Amazon as well, but
but that still requires going to a really hot area, doesn't it? Yeah, no thank you, and that's all the stuff that I had in terms of weird or funny news.
Well, what we might do, story time might be early, and then we'll just take the last half hour of the stream for any questions or anything they want to, the chat wants to talk about. You know, we can do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, story time, I guess. And like I said, yeah, spit it out, old man. Jury duty reminded me that I have served on a jury before, and went down, and they've denied me before. I went down one time, and this was for a civil case where a fellow that was in jail was going to sue the officer that arrested him for, being too violent, for brutality, and. Of course, you know, if you've ever had to go to jury duty here in the States, they sit you when they call you up. They sit you in there, and both the prosecutor and the defense lawyer will ask you questions, and they'll pick from that. And when they asked me how did I feel about police officers, and I told them, well, I thought that they'd done a really good job that nobody else wants to do. And that I have police and don't get paid much for it. And I have police officers in my family. The defense lawyer immediately says, we want him removed. But I did go down one time and did serve on a jury for a murder trial. It was for a murder that at the time had made fairly big news here where I live. It was a group of young people, teenagers in early 20s, that had broke into a man's house, thinking that he had a vast amount of marijuana, And in the commission of the crime, he ended up getting killed. The fellow whose house they broke into. We have a law here in my state, and forgive me for the life of me, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's a certain type of murder that if in the commission of a crime someone dies, you can be charged for murder even if you didn't pull the trigger. And that's what this case was, because they weren't really sure who pulled the trigger. But it was very interesting. I spent several days on the jury, which was kind of weird because, you're not allowed to talk about it, not even with your spouses when you go home. And his lawyer told us later, after the trial was over, that they tried to talk him out of it because it was such a slam dunk case. Now, you think I'm a redneck? This guy was redneck times 2, white trash. They played recordings of his jailhouse phone calls with his father, and it was just awful. He had tried to escape while he was there. They had threatened everyone. In fact, they would ask us if we wanted to be, when we walked out to our cars every day after court, do you want somebody to walk with you? Because they had threatened the jurors and everybody else. They white trash, altogether white trash. But it was a real slam dunk. They even had them on recording. This is how dumb these kids were. They had a recording of a 911 call. And in the commission of it, one of the perpetrators had gotten shot. And they'd called 911 saying that they're going to come in, and they made up some story how they were out on the street and somebody shot them and run. It was a drive-by and blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, they didn't hang up the phone like they thought they did.
Oh, no.
After the 911 call, and you can hear them all laughing about how they just lied and pulled it off. And the story.
Oh, no.
And it went on for the longest time. These guys were not the sharpest pencils in the box. There was videotapes of the kid in Walmart buying ammunition for the gun that was used in the crime, at Walmart. And they had his girlfriend at the time had made a plea deal and testified against him. It was just a slam dunk. But there was a really humorous part of the trial. At one point in the trial, the arresting detective was going through and displaying the effects that were taken off of the accused when he was arrested, because some of it was blood splattered and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's pulling all this stuff out of the envelope, the big brown manila envelope that, they keep stuff in, and then he's pulling it out one moment, and this is that, and here's his watch, and all of a sudden he pulls something out, and the whole courtroom busts into laughter, even the judge.
That's.
And I looked over, and he's holding up a pair of boxer shorts. They're SpongeBob SquarePants boxer shorts. He was holding them up, and it got to him how funny it was. Everybody's laughing except for the accused. He was not pleased. He was glaring at everybody, like, I'm going to kill you. But even the judge was laughing. She couldn't get herself under control. Had to hide her face because she's just laughing so hard. But you've got this serious thing like a murder trial going on, and then poop up up pops these boxer shorts with SpongeBob SquarePants on them. It was just a moment of levity, And end of the story, he was convicted. I mean, it was a slam dunk. Um,
How long did he get?
he could have gotten. Uh, we are a capital murder state.
They go for whether went for the maximum penalty.
He could have got death, but we did not decide that. Our jury was only to decide his guilt or not.
Yeah.
They would have another trial to decide his sentence.
Oh, okay.
That was outside. A very interesting experience, really. I mean, you see all this stuff on the TV, and it's really nothing like it is on the TV, folks. It really isn't.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. If you've never done it, I suggest doing it at least once. I get it. People don't like to be called down and spend their time being on a jury. But I found it a very interesting experience.
Illuminating.
Not something I want to do every day, and it is very heavy. I mean, after we decided him guilty and it was read, and we all went back to the jury room. And that's the very interesting part of it, is that in the courtroom, the jurors are given such respect.
Yeah.
That even above the judge.
How so?
He will stand as the jurors walk into the court. He or she.
Oh, okay.
But we're given you're given a great amount of respect. But after it was all over, we had one kid. He was just 18 years old on the jury.
Yeah.
And he so wanted to serve. He wanted to do his civic duty. He was really gung-ho about, and patriotic and everything.
Yeah.
And after it was all over, he broke into tears. Poor kid. He just broke into tears.
Probably wasn't what he was expecting, I'd imagine.
It just struck him that he just decided something that might decide the life or death situation for another human being.
Yeah.
It just all come home to him. And we all told him, look, dude, you done your duty. You didn't make this kid do this. You didn't make him commit these crimes. You just decided what was legal and what was the law and whether or not he was guilty according to the law. That's it. Don't take it so hard. But, yeah, interesting. But yeah, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, bless him. He probably went into that, thinking I'm going to do my duty for my country and serve my civic duty. I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, and then kind of didn't realize that, his actions would have implications.
Yeah.
Righteous implications, but still.
I got a little worried during it. I thought they might excuse me because about halfway through it, we broke for lunch and they allowed us to leave. But, again, you're not allowed to talk about the case. Keep a low profile. Right across the street from the courthouse is what they call the farmer's market. And there's a lot of little food stands and stuff over there. So a bunch of us went over there to eat.
Yeah.
While I'm there, this TV crew starts sweeping through the place. Now, they weren't talking about the trial I was on. It was some political thing. What did I think about this politician or whatever was going on at the time? And they come up to me, and I tried so hard. I told them on camera, look, I don't want to, I don't want to do this right now because I don't want my face on TV. I'm in a trial right now.
Yeah, that would put you in jeopardy a little bit, wouldn't it?
And they just wouldn't take no for an answer. And I just told them right on camera. I don't know if they were live or not, but I told them right on camera, look, I told you I don't want to talk about this. I want to eat. I'm hungry. Now go away.
Oh, bless him.
But yeah, interesting. I would have. it would have been much harder for me if this wasn't such a slam dunk. I mean, there was just so much evidence against this kid.
Yeah.
I mean, we could not prove that he was even the one that pulled the trigger, but the circumstantial evidence was extremely vast that, yeah, he probably did.
Yeah.
It was his gun. You know, he bought the ammunition. He tried to claim that where he was, and you know, just like on the movies, they had this big chart up there with a floor plan of the house, and this is where they entered, and you know, they had the little dots and the arrows, and they're showing all that stuff. And he claimed that he was this part of the house, but there was no way that he could have seen the guy if he was there. He had to be over here, and just a lot of inconsistencies. And like I said, his lawyer come in after the trial. The lawyer come in at one time. The judge come in and thanked us for our service. That she felt that we found the only verdict that could have been found in this case. And his lawyer come in and said, "Don't feel bad. Don't feel about." This is his lawyer. He says, "We don't feel bad about your verdict. I tried to tell him not to go to trial because he just didn't have a case."
Mm.
You know, so I don't want any of you to feel bad about given the and that's what was weird. The prosecution went through like 3 days showing all their evidence, and then when it came to the defense's side, she just said the defense rests. Nothing.
Sad.
Absolutely nothing. There was nothing she could say.
I assume he got the death penalty then.
Considering that he had tried to break out of jail.
Yeah.
And this wasn't just a sneak out. This was some of his friends and family showed up armed to break him out, old Western style, out of the jail. This is how stupid they were.
It's not good look.
Considering all the other stuff that, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot on his side that probably would have kept him out of the gas chamber.
Damn.
So there is my jury duty story.
Well, you're going to have to tell another story now.
Oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. My mind's not working. I'm going to have to think. My mind is still on hurry up and try to get all the stuff I had to get done and get home before the stream started. I haven't calmed down yet. So my mind's still in a world. Forgive me, folks. Another story. Let me think for a minute.
Oh, well, I know what one you can tell.
Okay.
Because we were on the topic of serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
The time you spoke to a serial killer.
Yeah. Some of you may have heard that story. I have spoke about it on different streams before, but I've got to the point where I forget what stream I've said what on. So I don't remember.
That's fine, I'm sure.
I think I'm going to save that one for another day.
Okay.
And there's reasons being, but I will tell that one. But yeah, it's a true story. BG, stupidest thing you have done around your wife. Oh, good Lord. Take your pick. That would be hard for me to say what would be the dumbest thing I've ever done, because there's been so many. We've been married for so long. 36 years is a long time for stupid to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have my reasons for wanting to save that one for a later time. But I will tell it. Random Americans say I do. You may have a point. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know then. I guess you'll have to save that one for a different day then.
Yeah. How will Toasted Network? How will you do Redneck Radio on Saturday during college football season? I'm sure that I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out if we have to change the dates and the times, and there's a chance, folks. At the moment, it's kind of a slim chance, but there's a chance this may go to every day. you know, the 3 days a week was just as a start. See how it works out. So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Obviously, I will not be available all the time.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah. Zero the Hero. Brexit. All right, fine. I've got an article that I grabbed about Brexit.
Yeah. Let's fill some time.
Okay. Brexit. MPs back Theresa May's bid to change deal. MPs have backed seeking alternative arrangements to replace the Irish backstop in Theresa May's Brexit plan. The Irish backstop is stuff to do with like the Irish border and stuff like that. The proposal put forward by Tory MP Sir Graham Brady had the support of the government and won by 16 votes. Theresa May had urged MPs to vote in favour of it to give her a mandate to return to Brussels and reopen negotiations in order to secure a legally binding change. But the EU has said it will not change the legal text agreed with the UK Prime Minister, as they have said over and over and over again.
Right.
Mrs. May told the Commons there is now a substantial and sustainable majority in the Commons for leaving the EU with a deal, but admitted renegotiation will not be easy. Be friggin' impossible. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said he would now meet the Prime Minister, having refused to until she ruled out a no-deal Brexit, to discuss the next steps, which is really, 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 really irritating. The controversial backstop elements of Mrs. May's original plan is the insurance policy to prevent checks on goods and people returning to Northern Ireland, to the Northern Ireland border, which some MPs fear could leave the UK tied to the EU's rules indefinitely. It was a key part in seeing her Brexit deal voted down in Parliament by a historic margin earlier in January. MPs earlier voted to reject a no-deal Brexit, but the vote was not binding. So hopefully, with any chance, we might still get it. Labour MP Yvette Cooper, who's an absolute knob jockey, by the way, bid to delay Brexit if Mrs. May does not get her Brexit deal through Parliament, was defeated. For those who don't know who Yvette Cooper is, I guarantee almost all of you would have seen videos of her kicking off at high-ranking members of YouTube and Google, moaning about the kind of things that you can find on YouTube, like moaning about Tommy Robinson and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that we get a no deal and that we completely sever ties with the EU.
Yeah, I hope you do too. And like I've told you before, this whole thing just really makes no sense to us Americans. Because most of us just can't imagine owing that kind of allegiance or any outside power having that much of a hold over our country. I don't get
it. So, I mean, I'm probably naive when I say it, but I would like it to happen, but I'm not so sure it would happen.
Well, you know, we got our independence from you over 200 years ago, and now we're rooting for your independence.
Yeah. Britain's Independence Day. Hopefully it'll be something we can celebrate and not kind of like look back. I have another article, and it's like a live reactions.
Okay.
People tweeting about it, I guess. Madeleine Moon MP quote tweeting Robert Peston. Robert Peston says Prime Minister Theresa May wins Brady amendment authorizing her to tear up the backstop and her own Brexit deal by 310 votes to 301. Now she faces the not inconsiderable task of persuading the EU. This proves that if they ditch backstop, her Brexit deal will pass. The quote tweet says, "What a mess, a disaster for the UK. The long-term consequences of this will reverberate down the generations, deeply depressing." Wayne David MP says the government really cannot ignore the vote against a no-deal Brexit, not as strong as it might have been, but nevertheless clear and important. Well, it's not that strong. Everyone's favorite knobhead, David Lammy, race-baiting shitbag, who's determined to make us all feel guilty for the empire. The government has stuck two fingers up to the EU. It is fantasy politics that undermines the Irish peace agreement, and it will be rejected outright by our European partners. The country is now rudderless, steered by a captain who would rather daydream than face reality. Technically speaking, he's not wrong because the EU will reject any kind of New Deal that Theresa May tries to create. That said, shut up, David.
Trek Lady C, thank you. She brought heat, laugh out loud, cheers, and has a bunch of flames with a cup of coffee. Appreciate it.
So, excuse me, sorry. Jonathan Edwards tweets out. So basically, the House of Commons has voted in favor of renegotiating what has already been negotiated with, when the EU have said there is no intention to renegotiate the already negotiated unless the British government drop their red lines. Tommy Shepherd MP says, unbelievable, the collective denial by the Tory/DUP, aided and abetted by a handful of Labour Europhobes, is palpable. Hashtag Brexit. People don't deserve to be governed like this. Of course, he's a MP for the SNP, and we don't care what the SNP thinks. Good news for May. She is now able to say to EU, drop backstop and I'll get a deal. Bad news for May. EU may reply MPs voted against no deal and voted for what they don't want and not what they do. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, we hope you get it.
There's hardly a strong precedent here for a non-no deal. What was it? 317 votes, 307. That's pretty. That's a close margin.
Right. Exactly.
It's a very, very close margin. So that's hardly a precedent. Sorry.
That's all right. At least it's folks. Let me tell you. I got home and I walked in the door literally at 5 minutes till 2, and the stream's supposed to start at 2:30. So I had to get the stream made on YouTube and up, and sent the link to Bear on Twitter. And I'm sitting here smoking a cigarette, drinking a cup of coffee with my earplugs in, waiting for him to show up. And the first thing I hear, what do you think? He uses.
Hold on.
Hey. That was it. There was no hello. There was no nothing. There was just. Well, Bear has arrived. So at least there's that.
That's how I like to greet you, blood.
Well, that's okay. You know me. Farts are always funny.
Exactly.
And to most guys and to some girls, they always will be. It's just a fact of life. Farts are funny.
Except for when women do it. It's disgusting when they do it. That is how Bear says hello. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Toasted Network is a question for you there.
Yeah. Remember your blind friend, not to be creepy, but it is also get a little bit touchy with the man that he needed to touch their face. There was truth and fallacy to that. Patrick, that was my blind friend, really could get a sense of what you look like by feeling your face. He felt mine. But by and large, the percentage of people that he would say heady to, and that's what he'd say when he just wanted to feel your face, he asked permission first. By and large, the large percentage were female. He knew what he was doing.
Of course. Any excuse to be a pervert.
Yep. And he was. He had the biggest thing for Linda Ronstadt. And this was when her first solo album first come out. It was the one with her in really short shorts and roller skates on the front. Now, he's blind, of course, and he couldn't see her. But he would have me describe over and over, describe the cover of the album to her, because he just knew from her voice that she was hot. And in that day, she was.
Should we take some questions?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Faithless, why would he care what men looked like? He didn't. I think he just threw in the doing it to men to throw the girls off, so it didn't look like he just done girl.
Jen says my farts are like ninjas. Sometimes it sounds like someone knocking on the door. Sometimes it's a whistle, and sometimes you won't even hear it at all. Well, Jen, you are disgusting.
What is my Toasted Network? What's my homo crush? I don't know that I have one. I have guys that I really, 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 really like a lot, but for other reasons than their looks.
Man crush.
Yeah. For instance, I'm just Neil Peart, and for those that don't know, he was the drummer for a band called Rush, and I consider him the best living rock drummer alive today. Talk about fanboy, and I would, if I ever met Neil, I'd be fanboying something fierce. But he doesn't do fans. It embarrasses him. So whenever the band would ever do interviews or anything, he wouldn't be there.
I think it's kind of interesting that Zac Efron's going to be playing Ted Bundy.
That was what the tweet was about that I mentioned earlier. They were throwing shade at Zac Efron for even portraying him in that manner. You know,
because Zac Efron is a very, very good-looking man. But you know, so was Ted.
Yeah. Yeah, Toasted, though, really, I don't know that I have one. I'm not a good judge of what makes a man good looking or not, because none of them are good looking to me. I'm not attracted.
Who is the biggest puff? Irate Bear, Lord Bear, or Alex? All three. Just don't tell Lord Bear I said that.
But he makes a really wonderful nurse.
What, Lord Bear?
No, you.
Oh, me, yeah. I'm a hot bitch. I'm a sexy bitch. Jen says, what is worse than a fart? A fart that happened in an enclosed space with no windows and a locked door.
That's why we rednecks have a saying that's about as funny as a fart in a spacesuit.
Yeah. Or a survival suit, as I found out whilst I was in the Navy.
Also Toasted asking if I saw the fight that Monkey got into on Twitter with the man that says dog style is the gateway to homosexuality.
Roosh V.
Yeah. Roosh V. No, and sorry for asking too many questions. That's my first. No, you go right ahead.
Did Roosh V respond?
I don't know. Am I surprised the Monkey got into a fight on Twitter? No. That's what Monkey does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see the Roosh V tweet, and it's about the dumbest thing I ever saw in my life.
Yeah, I mentioned it on Ghost Poo last night. Our obsession with booty is a slippery slope.
Yeah. All right, we got 10 minutes left, guys. Come on, ask your questions. Anything. If I don't want to answer it, I'll say so. But yeah, ask anything.
Because he didn't get in a fight.
There's a misunderstanding a lot of people have about Monkey, and those of us that have got to know him a little better than some of you have, like Bear and I. A lot of the times what looks like he's really going over the top on Twitter, Monkey just likes to push buttons.
He does.
There's nothing personal about it. He just likes to push buttons. Oh, Toasted, you're asking me a very tough question. And you know what? At this point, I'm going to pass on that. He wanted to know if I thought that gay is a choice or something you're born with, or both. I'm going to pass on that one this time. A little bit, no matter which way I go with that, I'm going to get somebody mad at me.
Sorry. Oh, God. Zombie Teddy is asking about one of my donation alerts. And the quote is, why don't you get back in your rocket and fuck off back to Legoland, you cunt? And that is from the Cornetto trilogy, The World's End.
Yeah.
alongside Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. It's the worst out of the three, that movie.
Sean DW, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? About that much.
Jen's asking about 7 Days to Die server. I uninstalled it.
Jen, I didn't see your answer to me asking you that day. Does it run better for you? Because if it does, I might have a chance. My laptop is getting worse. It crashes an average of about 4 to 5 times a day. That's a day, folks.
Are you pro hentai, Bloodwing?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't do that Japanese crap. And them people are weirdos.
You don't have a favorite waifu?
No. I do know what that is, but no, yeah. My grandkids watch anime and stuff, and they'll come out here all excited and say, Pavlo, this happened and this just happened and everything on some anime or another. And then that look will dawn on them, you know, where it just dawns, oh, you don't like anime. Yeah, you're right. I don't.
Fair enough.
I just don't get it. I have watched it. I don't understand it. I don't like the animation. I don't like the art style. I don't like the strips. I just don't like it.
Okay, well, speaking of which, I'm about to release my Overlord video, which I'll shill just before we end the stream. I'll just get that out there now.
All you need, it's not a matter of software. It started crashing after my daughter's pit bull dumped my laptop hard into the floor and busted the case and everything else. So yeah, I just need a new laptop, which will be sometime in the future. But you know, first things first. Long time. We have to, a long time before we get to that point. And I'm a stubborn old coot. I will buy old junk cars and drive them till the wheels fall off. So yeah, I'm going to get every bit of use out of this laptop I can.
Oh, what else was I saying? If you could have any car or truck, which one would you buy? I would like a Mitsubishi Warrior. Personally, I think they're very pretty.
Someone was asking me, Sean, if I knew a Jen or Bob Shelley. I don't think so. Bone in or out? I'm lazy, Circus Zero. I'm lazy. I like boneless wings. I love hot wings, but I get tired of eating them before I get full. I get wore out. You know, there's so little meat. So yeah, I'm on the bone out because lazy. If there's anything I missed, guys, it's not on purpose. My eyes are bad, and sometimes I have a hard time reading the chat. So
usually I read the chat on Bloodwing's behalf, but I'm just doing something real quick, and I'm back.
Hosted Network asked earlier, who has more power, the voter or the government? Well, ideally, the way it's supposed to work, the voter has more power. Because after all, it is supposed to be a government for the people, by the people, you know.
Bloodwing, do you think Kristen Gilberand is a Walmart version of Kristen Bell?
I'm not sure who that is. I may, and I'm just not aware that's their name.
Lauren says, if you guys could have any mystical creature as a pet, what would it be? Can I say succubus?
Well, for my wife, that would be unicorn, because she's all about the unicorns.
And you?
Ah.
A nymph?
Well, actually, I'm quite fond of dragons myself. I've got a statuette of a dragon up on my entertainment center, very large one. Yeah.
A mythical creature. I don't think I'd like a dragon. I don't know. If I wasn't allowed a succubus or a nymph, I don't know, something sexy. I don't know. I don't know what I'd have.
Guys. Well, we've still got a couple minutes left, but I think that I'm gonna. Yeah, you can put a link if it'll let you. Toasted, fine. I think I'm going to end the stream here, though. It's kind of running out of steam. I'm glad I made it. Thanks for you guys, and some of you guys beat me here. I mean, I started the stream, and I went to let Bear know that I got it made, and by the time I actually opened the page, there were people already here. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh, you guys are wonderful. And 75 watching, 76 likes, and 1 dislike. How about that ratio?
Dog was here.
Yeah. And I know Nuts noticed it earlier and wanted to know who done that. It doesn't bother me. It does not bother me in the least. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks everybody for showing out. Remember to tune in 2 days on Thursday, 2:30 EST. That would be 7:30 Greenwich Mean Time.
Yes, it would. Yeah, 7:30 GMT.
I am so thankful for you all. Seriously, you've been far too good to me so far. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. We're going to let Bear go take a nap or something to get rid of his yawns, and I'm going to eat.
Sounds good. Yeah, guys, I'm about to drop a link in the chat. That's to my new video on Overlord over on IRA Alex. Please go give it a watch. And I guess we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yep. And as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, everyone.